Hey Jeff, how's it going today?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. It's been a minute. We've both been pretty busy, hey. We didn't really have time to get on a call or we kept missing each other. So sorry to everyone that we've taken a while, but we just do these conversations as it works and as it comes up and naturally flows.
As we say, when is when.
Yes, we used to say that when we wouldn't talk for a while, or we're like, when is when? It's like we know we're going to speak to each other when we're supposed to speak to each other.
And like when is when turned into right now, call me.
Yeah, this is the time.
Exactly.
Yeah, so recently, though, we do catch up on text or whatever we write here and there back and forth to each other sometimes, or just as things come up or worldwide events are coming up. We keep in touch, and sometimes downloads come through. And recently, Jeff, you had this like crazy download and you sent it over to me. And I read through it and I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to read through this again. I always feel like I need a minute to process what you send through. And sometimes it could be even simple concepts in a certain way, but I don't know how even simple concepts, you got to really let it sink in sometimes. So you sent through this download, and I just wondered if you could talk about what happened, what came to you, what you think we could share with other twins about that, just to sort of translate it a little bit.
So basically, I get these downloads every now and then.
Mhm.
You say channeling. I just
Mhm.
call them downloads because it's just information that I get and it just comes to me. Certain elements, certain energetics within that kind of just tell me what to write, and I'm not sure why. I just start writing them, which you helped me do also. So I started writing them down and just sending them to you, basically,
Mhm.
so you could read. Then I myself too go back, and go back and read them, even to understand them myself. So, like you read that one back to me a few minutes ago,
Yeah, I just read it back to him because he was like, "Well, what did I say again, actually?"
and I was going, "Wow, who's that?"
Right? It's crazy when you channel or download things. Like it just comes through you.
Yeah, it's just a matter of that information is there, and I need to get it to where it's supposed to go.
Hmm.
Um, this particular download was reference to energetics and true energetics, like where they were formed from and how. And it basically was telling me in reference to human beings and their energetics within them, how twins are a powerful energetic uh, in itself when they come together. So the energy that's produced by the twins, to me, is probably one of the most powerful.
Hmm.
Now, if you relate that to source or God, and you were supposed to be with them in relevance, in other words, by design,
Hmm.
then I always thought that maybe all of us were twins, like everyone has a twin.
Yeah.
And then it started saying to me in reference to those energetics and how powerful they are. And within those energetics, what's possible. As twins, we know what's possible within the energetics with another twin because we meet with them. And once you meet with them, then you understand the energetics within that and how powerful they can be.
Hmm.
Maybe not at
Very
first,
powerful.
but yes,
That's
maybe not
true.
at first, hence the confusion, running, chasing, and all that stuff. But the energetics between that is to me a pure form of energy. Then what it referenced to me is those energetics, if in the truest form of energy, think about how we were back in Tartarian times, where I believe that we were human beings that were all twins and all related to the energetics. Energetics were used, and I'm not saying taken, but they were given freely into a societal element that we could collect that energy.
Yeah.
So through the buildings and we could share that energy with everyone. So through the buildings, through the knowledge of that time, we produced energies ourselves. A human being is an energetic form, period.
Yes, we are
So,
made of energy. We're
correct.
energy resonating, vibrating.
Yep. And I often say that, like, okay, so every person is made of energy, because if you think about your brain sends energy or electrical impulses to make your body move, or to make you speak or talk or see things, or just, body commands and what have you. And you're relying on a nervous system that is the energetic pathway. So in light of that, if we're energetic and we need energy in order to be our best selves or our higher selves also, if we get together and we talk or have communal places that you can share that energy or collectively collect that energy, like in buildings in Tatarian times that were made, and churches and things, steeples and other energetic places that collected that energy, that is free energy. I believe that through powers that be at the time, they knew that, and no one tried to tamper that or mess with that in any way, shape, or form, because that was the energetics that were allowed to be free for everyone.
Hmm.
Then you had ruling classes and societies or energetics that wanted to try to control that energy, and they then started trying to guide that energy, and then it turned into suppressing that energy, and then it turned into controlling that energy. So if I think about modern times as of now, I know that they started destroying some of those cities. They destroyed temples. They closed in windows and things like that in temples, via like stained glass and things like that. They took
Yeah.
down steeples. You take down these energetic forms, or what I would call collection points.
Hmm.
And then at which point, why would they do that? So then I was being shown and told basically that they started doing that for control purposes. And then
Hmm.
what other elements within that could they use in order to control us with things? And then fear came to mind. So if you start going into a place of fear, you have to put your energetics towards that fear.
Yeah.
So no matter what it is or what element that is, okay, you're putting energy towards it. So you can't put energy towards a collection element. It's like directing it.
Hmm.
So where before, if twins were together and we were all together in Tatarian times, let's say, and we would have this free energy form, which is ourselves, and we would collectively share energetics, because energy passes from one to another, in my opinion. And it's through touch, it's through conversation, through, voices, through, it's, we share a lot of energy that we just don't understand. But in order to try to control that, they started putting things in the way, such as fear.
Hmm. Yeah.
And in modern day times, it's so relevant, it's not even funny. Like your fear of coronavirus, your fear of food, not having food, your fear, it's just,
Hmm.
it's
I feel
rife.
like fear is the best way that humanity can be controlled. So you
Yes.
play on our fears, that's
In
that's the
order to
worst thing.
focus that, and
Yeah.
in order to focus that energy that we should be sharing
Yes,
into a place that's not sharing.
exactly. We become more concerned with self and just looking out for number one, and we come away from that collective, that unity, that love, which I think is a big part of what the twin flame experience is showing us. We are pulled away from that, and when you're in a state of fear,
You're in a state
you're
of ego.
exactly, you're,
And that's what takes away from that from us, is that, like you said, that unconditional love and energetics. It's the most beautiful thing in the world that you could ever have. Like mom with her son, your dad, me with my
yeah,
daughters. Do you understand
yeah.
that with your twin? It's the same thing. People might not like me saying that, but it is. It's the
Mm-hmm.
same unconditional love and energetics as that. And that's what it should be. And this fear based element of things really controls and redirects that into self and ego, which is the problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's the problem with the planet right now. And I try to envision, you hear a lot of talk about the new earth, and I do try to envision, like, what would that look like if we were able to overcome that sort of energy here on the planet A, and B, to know the energy that we can harness and we can bring through. And I've experienced
Yeah, we
bringing
were
that
shown
energy
that.
through. Yes, we
We
were
were shown
shown
that in
that.
2020. You and I were.
Hmm.
And we were shown that by literally Corona came and virus came and everybody shut down and stayed at home, did their stuff. Not me. I was going back to, I just did my own thing. And I was like, oh, it's lovely to drive to work today with no traffic. Oh, look, there's no fucking chemtrails
Yeah,
in the sky. This is beautiful. You know what I mean?
it was beautiful.
And I
That,
started
well, that
noticing,
element, but then also the element of, connection and being able to delve really deep into connection. When you are a soul that comes to this planet that is more open, more aware, more awake, and as you ascend more and more, I just feel like you're able to harness these energies through your being. And I get visions of bringing this energy through to the planet. And I would get that. I think when it hit me the most was during the whole twin flame experience, just feeling like, whoa, like, what is going on? Like, why do I feel that? Why do I feel this like surge of energy just blasting through me? And as I went more into my awakening process and learning on my own, I felt like that's healing the planet. We need more of that on the planet. We need that energy to return to what you were speaking of, like that original vibration that the planet is supposed to be vibrating at, the Tartarian times, right? But I feel
yes,
like we're being blocked. It's like a radio signal, like fuzzy. It's being like blocked. It's being, I don't know what the word is for if you mess with a signal so that it's like off. I can't think of it right now. But it's like
well,
you're in
it
between the
gets,
radio stations. It's like fuzzy. It's not coming through, like
yeah,
we're
it
being
definitely gets
clouded.
interrupted, and
Exactly. And I know
by
we were
what?
talking, yeah, I know
That's
we
the
were
key.
talking about even the Egyptian, like the structures and the pyramids. And earlier on in my journey, I was so obsessed with that. I always recommended everyone watch this series called The Pyramid Code. And on there, there's a whole episode just looking into how they use the pyramids to harness energy, harness this energy onto the planet. They think they used to light up. And I was like, wow. And right after watching that, I ended up traveling there with my friend, and it felt like very serendipitous. Like I was supposed to go there, I was supposed to witness that and feel that energy and receive some sort of downloads and harness maybe what is still able to come through those structures, even though I think even that's been repressed by
Exactly.
dark forces on the planet.
These are like the grid points of,
Mm-hmm.
like I was saying, these grid points are the computer system of the earth, and in
Yeah.
relevance to that. Like, so when people want to travel, a lot of twins travel to the same places for different reasons, or maybe for the same reason, but
Yeah.
to the point of why are they going to the same grid locations and key points in reference to those energetics? Because they are still there. It's just like, to me, your energy for yourself, you don't die when you die. Energy doesn't die, it just transfers. Now, if it transfers to another timeline or whatever, I can't answer that question, but I just feel that way, that it transfers to another place. It doesn't just stop continuing going where it's going. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It has to either go back or go forward or go. It doesn't stop. So when you go to these grid points and they try to stop them, that doesn't mean the energies aren't still there. So we feel those energies and we try to understand them the best that we can. But like you said, they suppress them or try to interrupt them, in my opinion, to best as possible.
They want us to be powerless. They want us to be easily controlled and manipulated like sheep. That's why everyone refers to sheep all the time. It's like, you're asleep, you're just obedient. Like,
right.
There are reasons.
You want to be kept in ego with material bullshit and things
that
like
as well.
that. So,
as well.
Oh, I need this car, or I need, this house or this shirt or this. I don't need none of that shit.
Man. I'm not going to say exactly. I'm not going to sit here and say I've fully cleared all of that out of myself, because I haven't. I definitely have these human traits, I guess we'd call it. But I will tell you that when I did ayahuasca, oh my God, I had my ass handed to me. I always say that over and over.
These are learned shit.
Yeah, and I was able to lift the veil, I guess you could say, and really see things for what they are. And you're like, oh my God, like, how do we fall for this shit? How do we fall for feeling like that's of any importance at all in life, to the degree of, man, after I did ayahuasca, I'd look around and feel sick. I was just like, ew, this is how we are.
It falls back to what is natural was taken.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go back to, like I said, the Tartarian times, or Tartarian, I believe that those cities, and most of the cities, were built already, and they were built in those energetic times. That's why they were able to be built in the fashion and the manner that they were built in. And that's why you had, quote unquote, the great mud floods and everything else, because they had to destroy the people that were creating such energetics, because there was no way to control them. So in order to produce a new, quote unquote, I guess, society or element within that, they'd had to change that.
Yeah.
And they had to change it in such a profound way that the new people that were there, or new people that would settle, or the new people that went into those buildings, into those places, didn't have that understanding.
Yeah.
So when they did that, and they pushed for that non-understanding or non-understanding, as I say, then how would you know to feel that or not feel that?
Exactly.
And there comes the separation within twins.
And the cool thing is ever since 2012, I really feel, and before that, I'm sure, but people have really been like, bam, click, waking up.
Yeah, I would say, right around 2010, 2011 onwards, it's really been hitting a lot of people.
I feel that. And just with and like I've always said, with the internet and all that, it just allowed for the information to spread and people to connect with one another in a different way that I think it was meant to be. And again, probably many twins connecting around that time.
Yes, I definitely think within the last 5 to 7 years, it's opened up a lot more within the twin flame, I would say, community and the whole collective in itself.
Yeah.
Because there's more information and there's more questions that you're allowed to ask.
Yeah.
And then there's more information that you might seek within those questions to get an understanding of what it is that you're wanting to seek and to find. That's why when you come across some, you go, nope, that's bullshit. And then you find others that you go, no, I resonate with that. That's good. And to each their own.
Yeah.
everyone will find that on their own journey as well.
Oh yeah, I've resonated with different things at different times. And then sometimes I've been sort of drawn to just not watch anything and go inwards more. And you talked about that in your download as well, about this frustration you're feeling with us. And, you did say twins, but not listening to what's coming from within.
Yeah, we start exactly. This is so when I say this, it pertains to to myself also. So when I say it, I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm saying it because imagine if I'm saying it to myself,
Hmm.
and then you can say it to yourself. Because
Oh,
basically,
I feel it too.
yeah, that's basically what I'm saying.
I could say it
But
to
the way that
myself
I
as well.
present it is, I'm getting pissed off at twins. Okay,
Hmm.
but
Hmm.
it's actually it's probably pissed off itself and ego more than twins. I'm just using the twins as reference.
Yes.
So basically, I just have this feeling like a frustration within, twins to like, we need to go, and you got to dig a little deeper. Sorry.
Hmm.
This whole thing is not a waterfall. It's a fucking trickling brook. Right. That's the thing that sucks because again, we've been taught in a fucked up way and they've taken our energy and our ego and smashed it into us and it makes us do things in a certain manner. But we got to look outside of that. We got to keep going inward and deeper, and it's going to take time after time after time. And it gets frustrating, and you get pissed off, and you get to where you're like, I can't do this anymore. But that's when you got to go a little bit further. And it's going to keep telling you to go further. And the thing is, actually, it won't let you do anything else. So, hate to tell you, but you're screwed. You're going to have to keep
Hmm.
going. You got to keep going and keep going and keep going. And it's inside self that you're going to find what it is that you're looking for. So, and it's the hardest
Hmm.
thing ever also because who the hell wants to look at themselves and go, yeah, this is fucked up. You
No
know what I
one.
mean? And exactly. But that's what you have to do, and it keeps
Yeah.
like, I keep saying that to myself also, like, what are you doing? Like, why aren't you working out? Why aren't you doing this? What you're supposed to do that's healthy. Hey, why don't you do this? Or why don't you do that? It's a daily basis. It's not something that's just, okay, oh, I fixed that. That's cool. Bye. It doesn't work that way
Yeah.
because it comes back and you're going, I thought I fixed that. Nope. No, you didn't actually. Try
Not so
again.
much. Yeah. Oh, I'm always seeing stuff like I need to work on, and it never ends, of course. It's part of our experience as a human, but I get what you're saying about listening to that voice within because I mean, I feel sick of myself within that of just not listening to my intuition or doubting myself. And recently I reflected on this. I was saying to my boyfriend, actually, I was like, I don't know how many times I've prefaced a sentence with, I might be crazy, but da 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 da.
Hmm.
Like, I can't, how would you describe this? Like, I can't accept certain things that I just know, or I can't accept that certain things that, are maybe labeled as conspiracy that I just know it. I know it's truth. But even I
See,
have a
that's,
hard time to accept it, let alone intuitive feelings that just come to me and I know what
see,
it is, but I doubt it.
with my twin, I do that. Like, I know the deal. I know what's up with her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when I know, I know. And then I still come back to myself sometimes and go, you don't know shit. Like, and I'm like, no, I know. Like, I'm together with her 24/7. Like,
Aw.
I know I'm with her eternally. That's the comfort I get in knowing that. But at the same time, I still do exactly that and go, oh man, I wish I was with her, like, or
Aw.
something. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm going, nah, not really. I'm good.
Oh, I get
So,
it.
so it is a battle within that, but it still is telling self, it's literally self telling self, hey, you still need to recognize something that's there that I think you still need a little work on,
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it gets pretty specific, and sometimes ego takes you on a path where it just takes you left, who knows?
Yeah.
It could take you down a rabbit hole somewhere else, and you're like, damn, like, what am I doing? But
Yeah.
this battle to me is those energetics, and it's that energetic battle. It's a battle for that energy and for that focus of energy and where you're putting it.
Mm-hmm.
Because any twin or any body, in my opinion, if you focus on something, don't you usually get it or take care of it or do it or whatever it is that you want to do or what you're focused on?
Manifestation. Oh,
Correct.
manifesting, it's the craziest thing. I have so many up and downs with it. One minute I'm like, yes, I'm feeling it, I'm in the flow.
Yep.
The next minute I'm doubting it again and I'm going into fear energies, and then I see when I go
Exactly
into fear energies, that's
what it does.
what
So
turns out is what I'm afraid of. And then
I'll
I
give
go
you
back the other way. Like I'm still working on it. Let's say that.
perfect example of that. Okay, I'm a tattoo artist, so I'll sit there and said, "Oh man, cancel." Somebody called and canceled their appointment. Okay, cool, whatever. I got next one another day. Then I'm like, all right. They call, the morning of the next day. I'm sick, and I don't want to get you sick. I'm going to cancel today. Okay, so that's two. Then you get in a fear-based element or ego-based element. You're like,
Yeah,
what the
what
hell's
if I
going
don't
on?
get any work?
I'm not going to get any work and no money. And then next thing you know, like
Bam.
you literally going, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah.
like I catch myself and
Mm-hmm.
I caught myself and I said, what are you doing? Like, this is ridiculous. I said, okay, well, I'm going to light some incense. I'm going to chill out and I'm going to manifest that. Hey, how much money do I need today? I need so much for this and this and this. And then my client that came in to get a tattoo already paid for his tattoo, so I wasn't getting money from it. Turns around and goes, "Oh, here, man, here's $300 for a next appointment for this and that," and that's kind of exactly what I needed. Do you see what I mean? So
Yes.
it's like, "Oh, I'm going to book in another appointment. So here's this, here's your tip, and all this, and here's this, and then that covers everything I ever needed." So
Exactly. It's
that in
always when I've
itself,
been out of flow that things were going badly. When I was in flow and just trusting, bam,
right?
things work out.
That's the energetics that you need to focus and put towards things in a
Yeah.
direction that you want it to be. That to me, that is manifestation. Manifestation is a direction that you put energy to go towards. That's
Mm.
all manifestation is. It's simple, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It really is. It's just your energetics. Now imagine that in back in Tatarian times when you're freely giving that on a daily basis and freely receiving that from other people.
Mm.
How can you stop that? You couldn't
That's
stop the
true.
growth. You couldn't stop the beauty. You couldn't stop the relationships. You couldn't stop the understanding or understand. You couldn't stop it because you're walking around in it. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
It'd be
I
amazing.
know.
And I think that's where we're going. Not to cut back to what 2020 again, but we were shown that stuff. And you and I were both shown that early. And we were shown the golden age and
Mm-hmm.
what could be possible and what, because we could feel it.
Yeah.
Because something broke in whatever it is, I would say, their force field that's stopping us from feeling this way. And we started looking outside of it going, hold on a second. You know what we could do? Nobody should be hungry. Nobody should be homeless.
Mm-hmm.
Why are we wanting these things? Why are we kept in this lower vibration of want and need and ego and wait a minute, what's going on here? You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Why are they doing this? Okay. And then you start asking questions even more. Wait a minute, where are they going with this? This is fear based. What's going on with that? Wait a minute, those energetics shouldn't be that way. Why? Because we felt them and what the true energetic form should be, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like if I have vegetables and I grew a garden and you go to a market and you trade market for meat or you trade vegetables for a piece of wood that you made, you know what I mean? Or a service that you did. I don't know. I think those energetics are coming back. Sorry.
Yeah. There was this really good movie. I forget if I've spoken about this before. It's on David Icke's channel. And I must say, I've really gotten into David Icke over the years. People think he's so crazy and all this, but when you actually hear him talk, the guy's freaking
See,
awesome. And he's
that's what we
funny.
need. Just real quick, we need to stop doing that because we all do that. Even I
What's
do
that?
it. Crazy. We're not crazy.
Yes, I
Like, this
know.
is, nope. Like,
Yeah.
even I'm
Like,
going,
I felt
who's that
uncomfortable
crazy person
liking
who wrote
him.
that shit to you?
Exactly.
Like,
I
see
felt
what I mean?
uncomfortable liking him or saying that I like him because he's just known as crazy to most people. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
It's
again,
like
that's
coming
what
up with
I'm
the word
talking about.
conspiracy to defute people's
The
questioning of
guy
things.
freaking has studied so much, and if you really watch and delve into him, oh man, he studied so many different concepts and he's just tying it all together, and it's like he lived his life like researching and being awake and talking to tribes, and I think he did ayahuasca ceremonies. Like he's been in it, he's lived it. He's such a like a leader. I just saw it was his birthday and they made this like video montage and thing for him for his birthday, and like I cried. It was so touching because I'm just like, he's really making changes on the planet, like like I got all emotional. It was so funny. But there's a
See that?
movie on his channel and it's about the new earth, and it's showing how people would live, and the movie's actually made by just putting together a bunch of clips of them touring these eco villages or whatever you want to call them,
Hmm.
where it's so beautiful. These people literally are. They're like sovereign. They're living on their own. They're growing their food. They're whatever, doing solar power and building each other's homes. And I'm like, wow, they are living it already. Like it's already happening on this earth.
There's a place in I believe South Africa that's like that already.
Yeah, there's
It
a whole
was
bunch. It's so
yeah,
cool.
the whole town and or city was built and done in a solar energy, and everything was done and put in place, gardens, everything. And there's
Yeah,
no there's no electric bills I mean, that's to me a little bit utopian, but in a way that's
it is. It's
it
totally.
this is what I'm saying. Like, why is something, see, solar energy, wind power, okay, why is something free being charged? Why are you being charged money for
Hmm.
that? Do you see what I mean? And the energy within things, why are you being charged for that stuff? Like, again, it's like for me with church, I have a problem with that. Like, I don't have a problem with church or
Me too.
being religious. I have a problem with giving you money every Thursday, Sunday. It just irks me so bad.
Me
But
too. It was part of why I left the church.
the energetics of that free energy to me, I understand people have to build solar, you know what I mean, panels and things like that, and that
Hmm.
that initial cost. But I'm saying afterwards there is no cost
Oh yeah.
except for the initial cost. So what I mean by that is referencing the initial cost of doing it. Okay, fine, I realize that and I understand that. But thereafter, if you think about that town or city that was built, it's free energy. So
Yeah.
what do they have? What bills do they have to have and or continuously pay thereafter? None.
Yeah.
So again,
And
it's
that's
like
the
almost
thing
like,
too, is they can make money off bartering and stuff like that. I recently, we talk about prepping, and I'm doing some prepping and getting food together because everybody, like, this is not conspiracy. There's going to be food shortages. To what degree we will see in each country you live in, but there's going to be, so you need to prepare. So back to what I was talking about. There's a community out here. They're called the Hutterites. I guess that they're similar to the Amish. And like they came to town and they're just selling the stuff from their farm. So I
yeah,
bought like a giant case of eggs to put in my freeze dryer. I bought a giant bucket of honey that, like it's not like these communities can't make money. It's again, but back to the barter and trade sort of system. They can sell some of their extra food, and they also sold chicken and stuff like that from their farms. And like there was a big line of people in my little town where I'm living. Just,
oh yeah,
they put the word out on Facebook and people heard and went to go buy what they needed. And then those people, they can take that money and put it towards other necessities that their community needs. It's so cool.
that's where like the energetics are, again, they're being directed towards that and towards those that do that. And to
Yeah,
me, it's like we're being directed to go back and to do stuff like that.
it's so
It,
true.
it's almost like, why did
Why did it change in the first place?
so they made shit so fucking complicated that it would stress you out and put you in a state of fear and stress.
Oh
And they want to
yeah.
maintain that stress and fear
Mhm.
through systematic crap and bureaucracy and red tape and government and all of that shit to keep you suppressed energetically. Because
Mhm.
if I woke up every morning and all I had to do was go out and tend to my garden to get fruits and vegetables and
Might be happier.
go hunting, and I built my house because everybody in my community helped me build it and I helped them
Mhm.
build their house, I wouldn't have to worry about that shit, would I?
Exactly.
You see what I mean?
There
So
was another really good documentary called In Utero, and it's about the lack of community, about the lack of tribal systems, and that one was focusing on how the children, are ending up kind of messed up because mom and dad are stressed out, they're working extra hours, they're trying to pay the bills. From the time a mother's pregnant, like she's so stressed and the baby feels that stress and so on and
yep,
so forth.
it's
Like,
a separation of energy all the way from the beginning.
yeah, yeah.
And there's your separation with twins. It's the same thing, same energetics.
Mm,
Why? Because they forced this separation of energy because they were scared of it, or they try to,
yeah, we're
not really
more
scared of it, they
powerless.
just try to control it.
Yeah, we're more powerless when we are separate. We're more powerful when we can all come together in unity, and the
Correct.
world would be a different place. But it's not easy, it's a process. We're stuck in our ways. And there's certain things about capitalist living that I understand, you know what I mean? I understand the draw towards what we've been drawn towards, but everyone's about to get shaken up when you realize that the system that you've been living for and counting on
And
can let
relying
you
on. Yep.
down. Yeah,
Oh
it can
yeah.
let you down because it's about to crumble and it's about to fall apart. And that's maybe it's such a powerful and good lesson for people to realize, like, oh shit. It's like,
That's why I'm happy and sad, because I'm like,
yeah,
yay, I'm scared as shit, but at the same time I'm going, this will be awesome. Let's see who, like,
you can make
sorry,
it.
here comes the masculine energy. Let's see who fucking lives through this one.
It's
Like,
true.
exactly. I'm like, bring it on. I'm ready for that part, but the other part, I'm like, I don't want it to affect my kids too much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or do I? Do you see what I mean?
Mhm.
Maybe I do.
And we were just talking about that, how, for however many years in time, it's been so respectable to whatever be rich and wealthy and businessman and this and that. But like you were just saying, like, okay, when shit goes down, who's gonna fix your Porsche for you, or something like that,
Exactly. Are your
as a
cryptos going
joke.
to fix
But
your Porsche now? No.
no, money can't buy you everything, and
Exactly.
it's that skill set and getting into living life and being able to take care of yourself. We've held money on such a high pedestal that that is your way to freedom, and it has been through basically enslavement of other people, which, whatever it is, what it is. But when you take away the value of money, and it goes back to a barter and trade system, like, what skills do you have?
See, that's why I always said I'm going to end up in the middle of the woods and I'm just going to trade people stuff for tattoos. That's it.
Aw.
You
And
know?
that's just it. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I grew up with a certain thought about whatever you want to call it, redneck. I'd call it hillbillies, like all sorts of different things. But as I've gotten older, I'm like, hey, wait a minute. Like, a lot of these people that we might treat as like low uh in society, low level, let's say, I in more recent years, I'm like, damn, I have so much respect for these people, actually. They know how to survive, a lot of them. They know how to garden and can food and gather food and hunt and fish and forage and things about nature. And maybe they look like low class on the outside, but they have a wealth of knowledge. They know how to build things and make things and fix things. We've only respected the people that were able to manipulate those people, if that makes sense. Like the people that had a more powerful personality only.
It's almost, again, it seems like it's by design, is it not?
Yeah,
In other
that's
words,
true.
let's be like this, and you want to be like us, but you got to start from here and to become us in whatever way that they deem fit or necessary. Okay, i.e., school, doctor, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But the dude who fixes your porch knows how to fix your porch and do woodwork from his dad. Do you understand what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
Yeah, it's
So it's like,
passing on
okay,
skills.
right.
I think
So
there's going to be such a new respect for those sort of skills as time goes on, because we've lost a lot of that as a
well,
society.
I should show you that in like American schools. That's why they've taken journeyman stuff out of American schools. They've taken auto shop out of American schools, woodworking out of American schools. They've taken everything out of the schools, and then they put in different systems and things like that that actually dumb you down.
Yeah.
And, you know, again, you're getting away from the energetics with the community. The energetics is the community. The energetics is the twin flame energetics. It's just that you're being shown those energies and what's truly possible when you meet your twin. Not saying that it's easy to deal with, because we've
No,
never dealt with those energies before.
I think it was way too much for most of us to handle
Right, at first. But you got to understand
at that
those
time. Yeah,
energies, they don't go away. They don't ever stop. They don't ever die. See what I mean? And
sure doesn't.
you keep those energetics, but they suppress those energies. What I'm saying, twin flames is also is that energetic form in its like most rawest element. And for some reason, you've come together with your twin and you've met and felt that energetic in its truest, rawest form. And it totally fucks you up
Yeah,
because we're still under this suppressed element that someone's created, and that's not how it should naturally be. That goes back to Tatarian times and taking away those energies and taking away those timelines and all that stuff to suppress it, to try to control it. And they still can't do it. And I'm not even going to ask or say who they is, because I don't know. But it's
yeah,
just a feeling I have. And to me, source energy or God still directs you to your twin to make you go, boom, you know what? This is still possible. Hello, smack you right in your ass. You see what I mean?
yeah.
And it's almost like, wake up. Like, do you understand what's possible? Do you know what's possible? No, you
Hmm.
don't. But guess what? I'm showing you.
Yeah.
And then you go, whoa, okay. And now, because we've been taught all this bullshit and suppressed with everything, we have to quote unquote figure out what. And I'm sitting there, this is where I get frustrated from. Because I'm going, figure out what? You already fucking know. What do you mean figure out? You already know. And this is me talking to myself too.
Yeah,
You already know. You don't have to ask anybody a question. Does it help talking about it? Sure. But
yeah.
do you have to ask somebody? You already know the fucking answer. You see
I
what I mean?
know.
Like, and that's self, that's inner self, that's that understanding of yourself on the inside.
I've done that so many times myself, especially in the
Me
beginning of
too.
this process, like running to others to get answers. Then I started offering up help to twin flames because I knew what it was like to just need someone to talk to because no one understood it. But in that process too, like I have certain clients that it's crazy. People were paying me, but yet I would basically tell them at times, like, no, like, I can't talk to you right now, or I can't do a session with you right now. I'm being guided to tell you that you know the answer right now. Go inwards.
Yes.
Because you help
And
them, and then it becomes a crutch, and no one wants to go inwards. And it's like,
well, again,
that's the only way you're going to get somewhere, is to go
in
through that
that
pain and feel that uncomfortable feeling. Like,
right.
ah.
That pain is the beauty. That's what I tell people all the time. You're misunderstanding what it's saying. The same energetics is what elements of pain are in elements of love and beauty in this. It's the same energetics. You're
Yeah.
twisting it to make it what it is.
Yeah.
You're making it fucked up. Your ego is doing what it's doing to you. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So fucking fix it. Like,
Yeah.
it's the same thing with
Easier said than done
manifestation.
at times. Yeah, easier said
No, I'm
than
not
done at
saying
times.
it's easy. Don't get me wrong. I asked for help too, and I got it. And I went and saw people and talked to people and yourself and others like that too. I'm not saying it's
Mm-hmm.
wrong. I'm just saying when you get to a point to where you want to grasp something, maybe you should ask yourself, because you already know if it's right or wrong.
Yeah.
You already know if you don't want to let somebody treat you that way. You already know if that job's not working out for you, you're not getting paid enough money. Fucking change it. Do you
Yeah.
see what I mean? Oh, we're not in that position to do stuff. No, I understand that. But you can still make changes to make ultimate changes also. So,
Mm-hmm.
yes, okay, you might not like your job, you might not like that person, relationship, or whatever it is that you're in. You can still make changes to get things done and to change that element of things, whether it's through a course of a long time or very abrupt. I'm more of an abrupt person. I'm just going to do it. That's just me.
I'm more baby step.
Right. And I'm
Go
just
a
like,
little
no,
step, and
let's
then a
just
little step
dive
more.
in the pool and see what happens. So,
No, not me. I'm like cautious and not much of a risk taker.
but see, it's through that element of push, though, where I jump into the pool to where either I'm going to sink or I'm going to swim. So it doesn't matter if it takes me a year to jump in that pool. I still need to jump in the pool, don't I?
Yeah.
That's the thing that sucks. That's kind of what I'm getting at. You're still going to have to make that change, whether it's baby steps and you do it in 5 years or you do it tomorrow. You still know that you need to make that change.
Yeah.
So what are you doing? And again, this is what I say to myself. This is my
Yeah. Yeah.
conversation in my head. I'm not just yelling at you or twins or anything. This is me talking to me also, going, what the fuck are you
Mm-hmm.
doing?
Yeah.
Like, stop, go work out. Oh, you're fat, go work out. Stop eating. Okay.